It's good to have you join us on another fresh episode of Just Nigeria, brought to you by the BBC and Channels Television. Here, we track stories on social media in the news and dissect them. I am Zainab Bala. Let's start with our top story. Following his swearing-in ceremony on Monday, May 29th, Bola Tinubu has now assumed office as the 7th democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Experts say that with key sectors of the economy currently facing very difficult times, the president must work hard to begin fulfilling his campaign promises. Many Nigerians have expressed hope in the new administration and are demanding accelerated progress across all sectors of the Nigerian economy. Just Nigeria's Wali Fakile tells us more in this report.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
It's a change of guard that opens a new chapter in Nigeria's democratic journey. After playing a daunting game of power and position with 17 other contenders, Bola Tinubu is Nigeria's 5th president in the 4th Republic. This peaceful handover means Nigeria's democratic meal keeps grinding despite a cocktail of challenges.
I feel fulfilled that we have started the Nigerian rebirth.
Muhammadu Buhari has now passed the baton. It's President Tinubu's turn to race against time to better the lot of over 200 million Nigerians. Despite the ongoing judicial processes around this election, as Nigeria's first citizen, President Bola Tinubu has his work cut out. Almost every sector of Nigeria requires urgent recalibration, and expectations are sky high.
Nigeria is heavily indebted, so the only way we can recover from it is to cut down the cost of governance, and so that we can pay our debt and we can run a smooth economy.
The power sector is very major to our economic growth and to making life easy for Nigerians.
We need our government to support our small-scale businesses.
For any economy, for any country to grow in the world, there must be industry working.
The Ajakuta Steel Company we abandoned in Kogi State, Ajakuta, if they can revive it and make it to start working.
For decades, Nigeria's economy was dominated by the oil sector. The country has been diversifying to reduce this reliance. Figures from the National Bureau of Statistics show that non-oil sectors currently account for over 90% of Nigeria's GDP. But a drop in global oil prices and the COVID-19 pandemic have almost brought the economy to its knees. Ballooning inflation, unemployment and poverty rates also paint a picture of an economy in distress. But it's not all gloom. The country has launched the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which aims to create jobs, support small businesses and boost economic growth. Nigeria has also moved up 15 places in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business rankings since 2016.
What the president should do, President Bola Tinubu, what he should do is first, policy convergence. Fiscal, trade and monetary authorities should converge. Number 2 is to combat inflation by looking at a short-term strategy. And in the medium term, it needs to tackle unemployment by making power available and boosting manufacturing sector.
Security is like the fundamental thing that needs to be fixed. And when you now fix security, you can now start talking about like pockets of issues around logistics, transportation, how do we get things moving across the nation, things like that, which require major capital expenditure and will take some time to see the results.
I think they should be more accountable for the money spent according to the military.
There should be camera everywhere and they should put people in charge. Even this road, as you are passing, camera is supposed to be here. So that when anybody commits any crime, camera will pick the person.
I always crave and pray for a Nigeria where I can travel freely from one state to another without fear or anything. But right now, most of us can't do that.
Try to also bring in the experts, those who are tried, even in time past, try to consult them.
I strongly believe that state policing will be the best option.
Nigeria is facing significant security challenges, including terrorist attacks, kidnappings, and banditry. Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast has led to the displacement of millions of people. Farmers and herders' crisis in north-central Nigeria have also resulted in thousands of deaths. In the southeast, unknown gunmen continue to wage a deadly war on security operatives, as well as targeted abductions of residents. The military has conducted operations against Boko Haram and other terrorist groups, taking back swathes of territories once held by the insurgents in the northeast.
All the coordinating elements within the security sector that are currently not cooperating, not collaborating among themselves, and that you see little elements of cooperation. There is a need to look at that and enhance how that can be achieved under a unified government structure.
A lot of people within the security space enjoy the National Security Strategy that was published in 2019. I think it's a beautiful piece of document. I think we need to look into that document and try to implement some of the suggestions that were made. We shouldn't throw it aside as we seem to always do.
If they make condition of service a bit better, look into the hospital sector. When you go to the hospital, you'll be attended to. The equipment are there handy. It will go a lot better.
Policies are very important, and those that feel they've been underpaid, doctors, nurses, professionals generally that feel that they've been underpaid, the government should look into it and do something about the pay. And most importantly, put structures in place to ensure that the policies are favorable.
But they should equip the hospitals as well. They should make it a place where foreigners too can come.
Nigeria has made progress in reducing cases of diseases such as polio and malaria, but there are still challenges in the health sector. The federal government launched initiatives like the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund to improve access to primary healthcare services, but the challenges eclipse these programs. Many rural areas lack access to proper healthcare facilities, resulting in limited healthcare services for a huge chunk of the population. Perhaps the most consequential of these difficulties is the mass exodus of healthcare workers from the country in search of greener pastures abroad.
Once we are able to ensure that their welfare is covered and the hospitals are well funded in a way that they are able to not just buy this equipment or not just renovate these hospitals, but provide a sustainable system to ensure that if it's a revolving system, whatever it is, if it's a PPP structure, it works. The structures are working, the technology is working, the welfare of the healthcare professionals are well catered to. I can tell you that we are going to see doctors remaining here, nurses choosing to be here, and you see pharmacists wanting to stay in Nigeria and practice their profession.
Proper remunerations of the teachers, lecturers across board in this nation. I believe with the economic administration look into that area very well, then the education system will be revived.
The welfare of ASU or our lecturers in federal universities should be prioritized, should be given a total consideration so that the strike will not occur again.
Let them implement some good policies that will favor the less privileged, that will also, encourage the youth to go to school.
Education is a crucial component of development and progress around the globe, but it is in dire straits in Nigeria. The country has more than 10 million children out of school, one of the highest numbers in the world. Federal and state governments have invested in teacher training and infrastructure development, but the problem persists. Tertiary education has also not been spared from the rot. In 2022, university lecturers were on strike for 8 months, shutting students out of classrooms for a whole school year.
The new administration should definitely focus on getting the right experts into place that can address this issue and lead this charge. And it doesn't mean that it's solely for government to invest in education and focus on rebuilding it. No, it also means being innovative and diversifying the resources that we do have. There are several different stakeholders that are involved. So partnering with private sector, partnering with NGOs, CSOs, down to parents and children themselves, students themselves, this is something that needs to happen.
Provisions of fertilizers, provision of good seedlings, insecticides, etc., etc.
Let's control the insecurity, the flood issue, and then we'll have food. We have a very fertile ground here in Nigeria.
We should tackle the issue of herdsmen so that they will not be destroying the farm. Their cow will not be eating the farm.
If the government can look into road infrastructure in communities, it will go a long way.
There has been a growing interest in agribusiness in Nigeria in recent years. More young people are venturing into the sector, leveraging technology to improve productivity and profitability. The federal government has launched various initiatives to support agriculture, like the Anchor Borrowers program, which provides loans for small-scale farmers. But challenges like poor infrastructure, inadequate access to credit, and the impact of climate change mean progress has not been consistent. The security situation across the country has also stopped farmers from accessing their land, leading to skyrocketing food prices.
It's something like we need to divide the ministry itself. At least we should have like a ministry of livestock itself, which will basically deal with all the livestock activities and everything. We should still have a ministry that deals with the cropping part of it. We should have the ministry that deals with fertilizer part of it, that inputs itself. You can't just say you have all these things under one ministry, because you will not get the result the way you are expecting to get.
From the vibrant streets of Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, and the corridors of power in Abuja to the farthest corners of the country, Nigerians all want prosperity and growth. The next 4 years will be crucial in steering the country on this trajectory. President Bola Tinubu and his team are expected to hit the ground running.
Our administration will govern you only on your behalf, but never rule over you.
Wale Fakile, Gist Nigeria.
Nigerians are without doubt looking forward to a breath of fresh air. Tweet to us at Gist Nigeria TV. Would like to hear from you.